Alright, today we're gonna try to record this video. I was recording and I accidentally freaking ruined it. Oh my goodness, my microphone is also freaking being more broken. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about the Nintendo Switch 2 and the game price that Nintendo has had, the price hike. So I wanna let you know that, I have like mostly all Nintendo consoles, and I grew up when literally the Nintendo came out. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Nintendo games have been high at some point and have been low at some point. We're going to go through it right now. We're going to show you receipts. We're going to show you stuff. I'm going to show you that the $80 price increase isn't as bad as people make it out to be. I'm not going to buy a Switch 2, nor am I going to pay $80 for a game, by the way, if you wanted to know. But I do want to justify some of the things people are saying, that they're saying that people are wild for wanting to pay for an $80 game. It's not wild because it's been done in the past. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to go through the different generations of Nintendo where the games were super expensive and the games were super low. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I want to show you. I want to justify pretty much that it's not a big deal. I get it. Some people are saying it's a big deal because you're going to pay $80 plus I don't know how much on DLC, and that makes sense. That's up to you. It's their money. I don't really care. But I do want to just show you guys that, oh my goodness. I need to pause the video to try to fix this headset. It's broken. All right. We're going to go with Nintendo first. A KB ad. They're showing Super Mario 3. Super Mario 3. I don't even know why I can't talk for some reason. Super Mario Bros. 3. Okay. The challenge set, $89.99. If you bought the game by itself, it's $49.99. That's a really good deal to get this. The most expensive game on here is Super Bowl by Tecmo, and it's $53.99. I have an inflation calculator tab just here just to show you how much it will cost today. So in 1999, $53.99 would be $139 in today's money. That's wild, right? That's just for one game, and it's not even that good. I don't know. Maybe some people are going to say Tecmo Bowl's great. I also have a calculator. So you would have to work 14 hours to buy this game. 14 of your hard-earned hours, because here in Washington, at least, the minimum wage was $3.85 in 1989. And that's where I made my calculations. For some reason, I put $3.89. But hey, let's do today's. If someone would buy that $80 game, let's look at how many hours of work they would have. The average U.S. minimum wage right now is $11. I know some people get paid more or less an hour depending on the state, but the average it would be $11. That's where we're going by. So obviously it'd be like 7 hours and a half probably, because with the taxes and stuff, probably 8 hours in total. But that's 8 hours. That's like pretty much almost half of the amount of work you would have to do back in 1989 just to buy a Nintendo game. Think about that. So, yeah, people are telling people that they're wild and, stuff like that. It hasn't changed. There was a time, we're going to get there. There was a time when video games were cheap by Nintendo. We're going to get there pretty soon. I just want to show you some more stuff. So, right here, they were pretty cheap, $42.99. Let's go with that one. No, the most expensive is Solo 2 with $44.99. Let's go with that one. Because I know some people are going to say, well, you picked the stores all berry and blah, blah, blah. It's still a lot of money, dude. It's $106. It's still a lot. It doesn't make any sense. You could say, some stores are more expensive than the other, but still. Pretty crazy, though. Pretty nice. So let's go to Super Nintendo now. We got the highest expensive game at the time, it seemed to be, was $69.99. I got a tab for that one too. $69.99 type was $143. Still no difference though. It's still pretty expensive. Let's go back to that tab. I probably should be closing the tabs while I'm doing this. Another Super Nintendo ad. This is the stuff that people have been trying to justify. People have been trying to justify with these kind of ads. Now, if you see on top of here, it says Canada's biggest toy store. Canada is always more expensive. Do I know why? I don't know. Let's do some conversion real quick. we're not gonna go based on the year. We're just gonna go in general, just to show you why the freaking obviously the ads are way higher in Canada. So if I paid a game for $60, it's gonna be $83 in Canada. That's why the prices are so expensive on here. So let's do the 94. Let's do the 94 real quick. Let's switch it around. Let's do 94. It would be 67. So it'd be no different from these ads. It's a little bit different, but it's still the same thing. So even though the ads are the Canada ads, because people have been using them like on TikTok and stuff and Instagram, saying that the prices were always high, but they cut off the Canada part, or they don't mention it's Canada. But other than that, it's still the same price. It's just Canadian priced. So yeah, it was expensive at Super Nintendo. I freaking love Super Nintendo. I only bought used games. I think we bought one brand new game, and that was Pac-Man 2 because it was $20, and Pac-Man 2 wasn't like a crazy game. That's the only reason we bought it, because I think it was like on clearance or something in Walmart back in the 90s. So, was it the 90s? I don't remember. I want to say, maybe it would have been later, because I never, when systems will be new, I never got the new system. I always stay with the old ones. Another ad, another $69.99. Let's go back to the inflation calculator. $69.99. 154. That's crazy. That's wild, right? But that was the normal back then. The minimum wage, let's look at the minimum wage back in 1994. $4.90. So it's only literally barely a dollar after what, 5 years? So yeah, we're looking at high. Here's an ad also for WCW versus NWO World Tour N64. $70, my guy, plus shipping. I don't know how much the shipping is, but it's a lot. I bought this game for $5 in the 2000s, when PlayStation 2 and GameCube and Xbox were the relevant consoles at the time. Yeah, because sports game or wrestling games always drop down in price when they're used. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go with this guy right here, the infamous $80 game. Hey You Pikachu. Now, it is $80. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna give it a pass because the Hey You Pikachu came with that little microphone and a little attachment. So technically, you bought a $60 game with some attachments. So yeah, there was an $80 game back then, surprisingly. So yeah, 64, Super Nintendo, it was expensive back then. I don't know where people came from or where they got their idea that Nintendo's just raising their price all of a sudden. It's been expensive. There's only 2 generations where Nintendo games were really cheap, at the lowest of the low, and not in a bad way, but affordable way. Another 64 ad, and if you see right here, it is $74.99. This is in the U.S. because Peoria is from Illinois. That's a town. If you look up this address, it's gonna give you Illinois. So yeah, $74.99, almost $80. This was back then, my guy. Back in the 90s. Think about that. Think about that, my guy.
Games free.
We just
Nintendo GameCube for
$99 for a GameCube, and you got freaking Zelda bonus disc? Dude, those are the days. And we're into the cheap era. This is the only era. I think it's because a lot of people that are complaining on the internet saying that Nintendo games were always cheap. It's because they probably grew up in this era. They were either born in this era or they grew up in this era. GameCube and Wii. If your first console was the GameCube and the Wii, this is the time where the games were super cheap. They were great. Consoles were cheap. Hold up, give me a second. It's because of my freaking mask. All right. Games were cheap. Everything was cheap. Here's a crumpled up ad from back, I don't know when. It says right here, 2004, old Target. Games were $50. We went from, keep in mind, we went from $74.99, $59.96. Well, it's alright, it's here too. $60, and we entered an era where the games were $50. This was the time to live. Look at this. Look at this. Sonic Adventure 2 for 20 bucks. Good luck trying to buy that much these days. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the player choice games. If you know anything about Nintendo now, they don't even drop their main games this low anymore. This was literally the best time. Like, tell me, when has the last time the Switch dropped down in price in games? Never. Once the Nintendo doesn't do that anymore. Back then, you could buy Sunshine, you could buy Wind Waker, you could buy Mario Golf for 20 bucks. You can't do that anymore. You just can't. Nintendo from like Switch and up, it's just been utter trash. But this is not about bashing Nintendo. This is just showing you guys that the prices, the only time the prices have ever been cheap were in GameCube and Wii era. Other than that, they've been super expensive. It's just be like that sometimes. Look at that, man. 50 bucks. Great games. Here's another GameCube ad. Look at that. $29.99 for WarioWare. Custom Robo, $39.99. $14.99 for Pikmin 2, my guy. Actually, no. Scratch that. That's a player guide. I don't want to scratch that. That's a player guide. But still, 50 bucks for games, and then the games are cheap. Ah, wonderful. Let's head to the Wii. The Wii had the same scenarios too. Does anyone ever remember picking up Twilight Princess for 20 bucks, brand new? Because Wii games were also doing the same thing too. The main titles were also going on sale. So, actually, we went to the wrong ad, didn't we? I think, yeah. So, but I do have to let you see something though. You're not going to believe it. But let's go to the inflation calculator. 2009, $49.99. You know how much the game would cost today? $74, almost $80. Though we love this era, and we see this era, we see this $49.99, and we're like, man, this is a great price. Still, it was a pretty high price, my guy. You still were paying almost 80 bucks. Let's go to GameCube. Let's do 2002. Let's do 2002. See, so even though the games were essentially, by the way, GameCube, even though the games were priced 50 bucks and stuff, they're still almost the same as they are now, especially with the new Switch 2. It was just always like that. Nintendo games were always expensive. So when people were complaining about the $80 price, I honestly didn't see an issue, because not that I didn't see an issue as in, I knew the games were going up in price. We went from 50 bucks and they just kept going to 60, and then it just kept going up to 70, and now that's going to 80. It's not surprising, to be quite honest. But people want to bash on Nintendo fanboys. Don't get me wrong, I grew up with Nintendo. I have every console besides like Virtual Boy or whatever. But I'm not a fanboy like these guys that were just willing to shell out money to Nintendo whenever they can. I don't think so. I personally think Nintendo they don't produce great games like they used to. Like, I mean, like in a bunch. Like they used to just pop out games all the time. They do, like, what we got. How long was the gap from Zelda, from Skyward to freaking what's that? I haven't played it. The new Zelda one for the Switch. It came out on the Wii U as well. Breath of Fire. How long was the gap from that? I don't know. I just want to justify the price and let everyone know that the game's still priced high as they used to be. The only difference is that you just don't remember or don't know the inflation part. Hey, if you want, we could go one more time. We could go one more time to the minimum wage, $8. All right, $8 times what? Like, for some reason I want to say 8. Yeah, no. It's gonna be 7. Yeah, because 59.99 plus taxes. So you work 7 hours. It's all right, I guess. Once again, it's your money. It's what you want to do. Anyways, I'm out, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.